Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, coming again today, you're very, very welcome. I trust you enjoyed my last video on very unique, eclectic artist, Lady Gaga. Of course, she had that massive movie, A Star Is Born. And we looked at being your absolute self. So I trust you found that one encouraging. Well, we're going from there to 1952 in Mount Kisco, New York. This lass was 4 of 5 children, and she would actually attend between 1970 and 1972 the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. The girl we're talking about is Laura Branigan. Now, Laura, pretty amazing voice, and certainly in the mid-1980s, she had a string of massive hits. This girl, she well and truly was one of the people of the 1980s, and we'll get on to the song that you just got to talk about when you talk about Laura Branigan in a minute. But in 1972, she was part of a folk rock band, Meadow, and she also was backup vocalist, one of the backup vocalists for the iconic Leonard Cohen. So, you know, it's a pretty amazing gig, that one. If you can get to support someone as iconic as him, you know you're doing okay. And eventually, in 1979, she would be signed to Atlantic Records, and aren't they glad that they did that? In 1982, the album Branigan was released. Starting off with the first single that was ever released, All Night With Me. You know, what a beautiful promise that one is. Hey, all night we're going to be together. What a beautiful thing. This got to number 69 in the Billboard charts. And we start to see already that Laura had a pretty amazing voice. Very, very attractive girl, just an all-round performer. So we've got a studio version of that one below. But what is the song that you need to talk about when you talk about Laura Branigan? Gloria, da-da-da, ba-ba-na-na, da-da-da, da-da-da. That song there, this was originally an Italian love song that was recorded in the late 1970s, but Laura Branigan would have put her own a wonderful 1980s stamp on it. This song originally wasn't liked by US radio, but because the dance clubs were starting to play this one, it was getting very, very popular. The radio said, well, you know what? It's actually a good song, this one. In fact, this song was so successful. It actually, the album Branigan went gold, and the single sold 2 million copies, and one of the highest selling singles of the 1980s. So this song is very, very significant for Laura Branigan. Which, when you think about 1980s, this is the song, one of the songs you think about with the blend of synth guitar, the whole thing, as well as incredible vocals. This was actually nominated for a Grammy as well. This is how significant this song was. We've got an official and live version of this one below. Now, as I looked at some of these songs, I thought, oh, you know, I think I might have a bit of a story here. Now, I haven't done a story for a while, but I thought, let's have a look at a bit of the story. Now, let's pick a name, a female name, because Gloria is about a female. Let's just call it Gloria. Why not? Gloria, a young 20-something, and she was one of these girls that thought she had it all together, didn't need anybody. She thought, I can just do life on my own. I'll have a bit of fun along the way, and I'll just do what I want to do. I'm going to, you know, I'm just going to do what I want, have a bit of fun, you know, and I'll just put off, you know, making any real decisions until later, because it's all going to work out then. So Gloria, the song Gloria is very much all about that sort of thing. Hey, someone's going to actually call you out at some point. This is just not working out for you. The song is quite pleading here, and you can almost imagine Gloria's mum at this point saying, hey, you know what, this is not going to go well for you. But Gloria kind of says, well, I don't care. Enter 1983, Branigan 2. This was a very, very good big album for Laura Branigan as well. It's got onto, in fact, the song Solitaire. We've got an official clip of that one below. And then we've got How Am I Supposed to Live Without You, a live version of that one below. Michael Bolton actually wrote that one, and he actually sang this one as well. This spent 3 weeks, #1 Billboard Adult Charts. So Laura, she did start to think, well, maybe I should settle down, and but she still had this wild streak about her. But and then we've got the relationship breakup. No, this is kind of what she's starting to think, well, you know what? I actually think this guy's pretty good. I actually want him. It's really good to have that person you're thinking about you as you're thinking about them. But she still isn't wild. She's still not really wanting to settle down. She still wants to have that fun and go out every weekend. And she finds herself in a breakup situation. Solitaire. And then, how am I supposed to live without you? And this song is very sad when you hear about it. It's almost pleadingly, how am I supposed to live without you when I've been loving you for so long? So one of the questions to ask yourself at this point is, how's your interaction with love going? Let alone relationships, because if a relationship ends, it's not love that ends, it's a relationship that ends. Because love is patient and kind. The thoughts that we have, the words that we say, the things that we do, patient and kind. So for someone who is in a sense a little bit selfish, the concept of love being a patient, kind is just a little bit of a stretch. So what happens at this point? Well, I'll actually become independent. So maybe I need to find my way in the world a little bit, find what I want to do, get an established job, maybe just put love on hold for a while, and just get a bit of a career. So Gloria well and truly did that. She did go to uni, and she did become a lawyer. And so she was well and truly enjoying that lifestyle. So she was exercising self-control at this point. So the good thing about these moments when you're kind of, in a sense, taking yourself off the dating market is you start to find out a little bit about yourself and a little about who you are, and as you find your way in the world. So Self-Control was a massive song from Laura Branigan. This got to #1 in many countries. I do remember this song coming out, including West Germany, for 6 weeks. So we got a TV version of that one below. I actually love this song. Typical 1980s production. Very original and unique. In 1984, Laura Branigan would actually have the hit from the Ghostbusters movies, Hot Night. But then in 1985, the album Hold Me came out. And we've got a live version of this one below. Again, just listen to Laura Branigan's vocals. They're absolutely stunning in many ways. So Gloria, she's starting to think, well, you know what, I've got my career, this is going pretty well. But I'm ready. I think maybe I'm ready now for a relationship, because I've done some work on myself, and I'm and I've looked and considered love a little bit, and I'm ready to be with someone. So then we have the song I Found Someone. We got a live. Oh, by the way, we've got an official clip of Hot Night below, a bit of Ghostbusters memorabilia in there. Then we got I Found Someone, but this is a breakup song. We've got a live version of this one below. So poor Gloria, putting all this internal work into finding herself and trying to be the best she can be, but then it still doesn't work. And she said, well, why hasn't it worked? The problem is that you can work on yourself and be the best person you can be, but the problem is that when that relationship comes along, all that gets put on its head, because all of these things that you hold value, all these values, all these assumptions you make about yourself, well, relationships require everything. You just can't continue to be yourself, your well ordered, well collected, well thought of self, and not be able to willing to bend when it comes to relationships. You remember the song Beauty and the Beast from that iconic movie, someone bends unexpectedly. But so poor old Gloria was not willing to bend. She was a successful young woman, but the poor guy just couldn't find a way into it. And so I found someone, but I lost someone. And so we then get on to 1987 album Touch. And one of the songs of one of the top sellers of the Christmas that year, The Power of Love. This song is a beautiful song. Jennifer Rush did this one originally. And Power of Love is all about exactly that thing, the power of love. And the beautiful thing about love being patient and kind. Just let your head sink into that for a minute. Love is patient and kind. There's no room in there for my way. It's our way. You know, part of an our and an us. And if love is allowed to do its thing, it can be absolutely amazing. It really, really can. It is the most complete, peaceful, erotic, exotic, passionate togetherness you could ever hope for. Love is absolutely powerful. Make no doubt, make no mistake about it. It's powerful, but it's powerful in its tenderness and its complete ability to envelop two people together. So, as you listen to Laura Branigan's incredible live vocal of this one, it's absolutely stunning song, this one, really explaining the power of love. So anyway, what happened with Gloria? Well, yeah, she did find this power of love. Thank goodness for that, hey. She went from being the Gloria that is, now I'm just going to do what I like whenever I like, to the finding someone solitaire. How am I supposed to live without you, but not really understanding relationships? You're finding yourself through self-control, but then realizing that doesn't really work when it comes to relationship, and I found someone. But then we get to 1987, Power of Love, and Gloria does have a good ending. Why does she have a good ending? First of all, she becomes patient and kind. She realizes there's some things that she has been holding on to that just are not working in relationships, and she lets them go. The assumptions of life, because she realized that it's so much better to be in a love story with someone than not. And so Gloria does get a happy ending after all. So that's a beautiful thing, actually, to have a story with a happy ending, and Gloria, just know that Gloria did have a happy ending. And so did Laura Branigan, actually. But we get through to 1990, the album Laura Branigan, we got a TV clip of Never in a Million Years. And so Laura Branigan too had a pretty amazing love story, but her husband did die in 1993, around the time that the album Over My Heart was released. At that point, understandably, Laura Branigan did have a bit of a break from music because, you know, dealing with the death of a husband, it's pretty big. But she herself would succumb to a brain aneurysm at the age of 52, and she did leave us in 2004. So, you know, a very, very sad day for someone who had such an iconic song some 20 years earlier. And I'm sure there were many times that she sang her signature tune, Gloria, in many performances over the years, but to leave us at 52, really young. Some 20 years, actually some 10 years after the death of her husband. But a legacy of Laura Branigan, actually, is a nice story. The St. Louis Blues National Hockey League, they weren't doing so well. And in fact, they were having not many wins, actually. But they discovered this song, Gloria, and it became a bit of a resurgence song for them. They did rally under this song, and they ended up winning the Stanley Cup. So there's a nice little added story to the iconic song Gloria, sung by Laura Branigan, and of course she would be secretly smiling about that particular story, and hoping that the character from Gloria also would actually find the power of love as well. It's nice to actually put some songs in a bit of an order and get a bit of a story, as we did with Gloria's story today. Between 1982 and 1993, Laura Branigan had 7 studio albums, 1 EP, 6 compilation albums, 32 singles. A lot of these singles were very, very successful indeed. 3 video albums. She sold around 2.5 million albums, and as I said, she did get nominated for a Grammy Award. So the links to those 10 clips are in the description below. And I've also included my last video from Lady Gaga. If you want to recap on her, feel free. Well, if this is your first time, the Life Reflections from Music, or you've come back for another one, how great to see everybody here as always. Well, next time, we're going to go back to H, and we're going to look at the band Hot Chocolate. We're going to go all the way to the 1970s. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.